Oh my god, this has been a while coming. I haven't been on here in a hot minute, but welcome back, guys. This is going to be my first game in the 5TG tournament. Today, I've got Smurfy with me. Say hello. Hello. Well, we'll see how this goes. But today we have got Team 5TG versus Team Dolus. So, it's going to be an interesting one here today. I mean, up first, the lineup for 5TG, as you can see. Bit of Ash Jaeger favouritism here. Makesh, the only one not favouring the Ash as the main for the rank stats. We will have tournament stats as soon as we can, but now, and currently the seasonal operator is on tab and also tracker is not currently working, so it's not really ideal for that one. No? Yeah. So, this is Dolus lineup. Oh, bit of variation here. Bit of variation. Not just Ash Jaeger across the whole board. You do see Clone Darrow being that true support operator. Tyso operating on the hard support on attack, but frag on defense. Now that is different. You don't see that often.
Due to how old the statistics or how out of date the statistics are on each player, I can't see I can't see what we're looking at here being representative of how they're going to play in game. So I think we'll be in for a treat. I don't think it's just going to be frag growing all the time.
No,
I hope not, at least.
Well, yeah, so do I. I mean, from personal knowledge, I know that Clone Darrows will be the support for Gen, and then the rest will sort of flex about. I think Tyso will be on entry. Jack might be second entry / flex with Pub, and Crow on flex as well. I think I only have one support and then 2 flex, 2 frag. Whereas if we look at 5DG here, then I think it will be probably Sadler and Makesh on the support, then Tulsify, Killy and Harv on the frag flex, all 3 of them. I think that's how they're going to set it up, because that's how I've known them in the past. I think this would be a decent game. I probably would say 5TG do look quite strong here, but Dolus are an actual team. They play a lot of leagues together, so it'll be interesting to see if... What was that?
I think the map is going to play into the game very much here. So we'll take a look at that.
Yes, sure. We can take a look at map bans here.
Obviously, we'll be going to the Italian stronghold in Villa. A map that kind of is very 50-50 favours strategic depth, but also you need to have that frag power. It's somewhere halfway on that spectrum, so I think it will give us a very interesting game. Obviously, we've seen it in the past, pro play. Some big games, G2 Empire comes to mind, games like that. So hopefully we can have one of those on our hands. It should be good.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I can't lie, like, Villa, although it hasn't been changed since its release, there's still certain new ways you can adapt to holding it on defense. Like, there's a lot of new operators that have sort of changed the way how you can operate on this map, and vice versa on attack. Like, I know the new addition of Osa into comp a couple of seasons ago, that's going to completely change certain angles and certain holds. But on the flip side, like, there's all reliables as well. Like, master bedroom pushes for an aviator defense, you can't really go wrong with that as long as they don't have a mirror window and bloody trophy. That can be quite annoying, to say the least. But yeah, I'm interested to see whether this will just be a glorified ranked game, or there will be some weird strats coming out from both teams. I'd like to see some weird strats.
I would as well. We are men who like strategic depth.
Agreed.
That is one thing I think we can both agree on. And in speaking of strategic depth, because of the proximity to Demon Veil, the new season release, the tournament administration made the decision that Thorn will be allowed from the very beginning. So we could see in an Operation High Caliber game, we could see a Thorn play in competitive here today, so that could really shake things up. I don't think she'll have quite the impact of, say, an Osa or Ace in years past, or Mira, but she'll be interesting. I think she could play into some niche strategies, maybe on extended holds and kind of trophy and kitchen and that kind of thing, but we'll see. It'll be very interesting.
Agreed. I mean,
It'll also deny a bit of that stairway play on the likes of maybe air defense as well. Not deny it, but it should make it quite a bit. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely shake it up. I mean, there's a lot of key operators right now. Like, we're just going into the ban phase now. Let me just start the share play. We're just going into the ban phase now, and I think the bans on Villa are very key. They are very key to what can sort of determine how this map is played, if that makes sense.
Yeah. There often you'll see some wacky kind of bans. I just can't see it quite yet. Give me 1 second.
That's absolutely fine. It is Dolus with the first ban, and they do ban out the Thatcher, which is, as we probably said before on countless streams, a lazy ban. We do see Clone Dars leave the game. That's interesting. We'll give it 2 seconds.
We'll give him a minute. Should be.
But yeah, no, I can't lie. Like Thatcher's almost a default ban all the time, especially on Villa. Mainly because it's quite a strong operator on Villa. It's probably one of his stronger maps, considering how much utility there normally is used on defense on Villa. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, it's one of those that kind of, I think everybody knows how to play with Thatcher and everybody knows how to play without Thatcher, so it just kind of mixes it up only very slightly. So I think we'll see. Is my mic got a bit loud there?
Yeah, it's fine. I've turned you down. It's all good. We're all good.
Okay, nice.
Just keep it there.
Okay.
Could you manage the Twitch comments, by the way, because I can't actually see them.
Yeah,
I've got the Discord
kind of
on
paying
my
attention
left.
to them.
Yeah, come. A Jackal ban as well coming out from the attackers. Again, these are pretty default bans. You see this in almost every single rank game, every single map, no matter what map it is. So a bit disappointed. I wanted to see some variation. But then again, Jackal's best map probably is Villa as well. So just cuts off that Roma rotation, being denied from the side of the attackers. A Valkyrie ban. That's a lot of utility.
Also kind of, yeah, it's kind of, it's kind of to be expected at this point with just how powerful Valkyrie is. Obviously, getting that nerf in Demon Veil, but on a map like Villa, I don't think that will change your power very much. So I think we can expect to see this for the duration of the tournament. This Valkyrie ban on Villa. It's just she gives us so many places you can just hide them away in little cubby holes, and she can give you so much information with the long hallways. And the mute ban, that's one I like to see.
Now that is a different ban. I mean, even though he got nerfed recently, the fact that he's still that powerful to warrant a ban, because don't get me wrong, as Breach Denial goes, he's probably the most default picked Breach Denial in the whole game, and he also denies drones as well. So him being banned is going to be interesting. I think Dolus banning him means that they have strats without mute, and they are intending to play without mute completely, because they chose that. So I can't lie, I'm intrigued to see. Yeah, the Cade is on the board, so they're going to bring the Cade most rounds, and I probably think so are 5TG, as Cade is very strong on this map, specifically with the unshootable Cades in certain spots, especially on the trophy wall. Ooh, Shane, you see what I see?
I see what you see.
Cheeky little sick
Okay, this is going to be a wacky aviator hold. I'm going to predict.
Oh, he sick off the Twitch. Oh.
Nice. Yeah. Now, if those mirrors, if those mirrors are in the default places we expect to see them in aviator and games, they're not too difficult to deny from below. So I don't think that Twitch will be, or that the switch off the Twitch will be too detrimental to the side of 5TG. But we'll see. We'll just see now where the mirrors are going to go. And we see a bit of an extension here into statuary with the Kaid, so I assume they are going to try use those. It'll be interesting to see whether they use those Kaid charges across on the statuary side or in the main breach.
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. I think to see the drone setup right now from 5TG, I'm pretty sure they're definitely going to go below. That's probably why they got the IQ. They're probably going to try and floor bang a lot of the utility from below, maybe get the mirrors from below as well. I don't know how useful this extension will be if 5TG just negate that side.
Yeah, it seems like, because if they're going to use, I see Lucy kind of hovering over there, if they're going to use some of those Banshees to deny kind of lines of sight and choke points over in the extension into the master bedroom side, it's going to be a lot of utility that they've invested into this side and that they may not be pushing, but that being said, Killy is droning himself in there, so we will see. Yes, it looks like they're going to go for a split push kind of.
Yeah, it does indeed. I mean, Taiso is lurking below here to try and catch Makesh off guard. It would be interesting to see whether he gets aggressive on Makesh trying to get the util from below or not. See, Pubman's still setting up reinforcements. That's probably not ideal. I mean, they've already got the mirror window destroyed. Crow has indeed just jumped over the balcony and fallen off. If the attackers are not aware of this, then this could be quite useful, especially considering that Harv is below right next to him.
I don't think he hears him.
I don't think he hears him either. He definitely hears the C4, so Harv definitely knows he can get a freebie, and yeah, indeed he does. That's the first kill of today onto the mirror. But I believe that is the Melusi of Taiso trying to catch Harv Larkin, and indeed he does. That is a good refrag there from the Melusi. Shane evens it up.
Now, trade 1 for 1, and to get that IQ off the board so early in the round before they can actually start to kind of push in the clear on site, that will benefit the attackers here in the long run, because They won't be able to spot that utility, although had they been a few seconds earlier, might have spotted that smoke and been able to deny that shield, but now they've just repositioned, and that's what I like about the smoke play here. They can just reposition that shield off the main stairs and adapt to the push of the attackers, so it's very well done on the side of Dolus.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I can't lie, the smoke was very good there to move out of the way of the nade, well, both nades even. He managed to get away and is now playing in vault, trying to deny that vault push. I can't lie, the one thing that I don't like about study attacks is you can only really go through doorways and vault wall, especially if they still have top main control, which indeed they do because they have a player in study as well. So it's going to be probably a couple gunfights here going to have to come out from the side of 5TG to order to make sure that the defenders.
Now 45 seconds. Yeah, 45 seconds looking to make an execute on site. They do have plenty of time still here, unless Taiso can pick up a frag here on the landing. Or will he get caught?
Well, Killy is going to indeed have the gunfight with Taiso, but it is Taiso winning it out. That is a very big shot indeed. However, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Makesh is below. Taiso get another kill. That is now a triple on the round, as you can see.
He has study on lock, so it will be a very one-dimensional push here in the last 18 seconds.
Makesh is he going to win out the gunfight with the Medusa? Yes, indeed he is. That Taiso is not getting an ace here. And Makesh has managed to walk into sight, and Taiso has managed to walk into vault, but he does get found by the Kate of Cloned, and well, Makesh is going to have to stick the plant. He does get off it, and Clone does team kill his mate, but he also gets the planter. So a double kill coming out from Cloned and a triple from Taiso. And, that is indeed. Oh, never mind. Jack got one of the kills. So I apologize for that one. But overall, solid defense from Dolus, falling off, trying to get probably delay as much time as possible. And I think the push from 5TG was a bit one-dimensional, especially considering that when they pushed study, there probably wasn't enough intel, and it indeed got quashed.
Well, it was in that last 45 seconds, they went to make the play onto study. Well, I said one man went to make the play, and wasn't successful, and like you said, put it down to the lack of intel, but also just lost the gunfight. If he wins that gunfight, takes study control, it's a very, very different push. So I think we can boil a lot of the success of the defense in that round down to that one gunfight, or the two kills actually that came out of Taiso in study. So there was a big round by him. Probably saved that defense.
Oh, apparently Shane. Hold on. Apparently you sound like a robot.
I've been told that. Now, I don't think people may not realize this is. I'm quite monotone in general, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, it might be your audio. Give me 2 seconds.
I think it's a problem on your end.
Yeah, it might be. Just chat a little bit about the setup. I'll try and fix that.
Yeah, no problem. So, defense of the kitchen and dining side. An extension upstairs is pretty default. There's nothing too unusual. We're not going to see an extension into laundry, which is a shame. Can always make for some fun engagements. Yeah, there is nothing too unusual from what I can see at the minute. It's all fairly standard. If it holds on to laundry, box standard. Okay, so this might be. We see all four of the 5 members are going to spawn on that ruins corner of the map. And we're going to see, are they going to extend here or just brute force their way into sight? Looks like it's going to be a top floor take by the attackers.
Right. So, wait, hold on, speak 1 second? Yeah, okay. I think I've got it fixed. Yeah, I've got it fixed.
Okay, so Killy is causing havoc in sight with that Twitch drone. I believe he snagged one ADS there before the drone got shot out. So that is definite value. But with no mirror on the board, that's about as good as you're going to get. Aside from maybe one of those electro claws, I don't think you can complain about the one ADS for one Twitch drone. Not a bad trade.
Crow Gremlin getting quite aggro on the door, but then is going to immediately fall off. And because no one is playing with Taiso up there, he indeed gets picked by the Twitch of Killy. Crow is just going to rotate to main stairs to try and provide a lurking presence late in the round. Pab is actually still upstairs as well, and he is on landing, so he's going to probably rotate the Crow and play together to maybe make sure that 5TG clear him here, because if they indeed waste some time on that, that could be quite good. Only 2 players on site though from the side of Dolus, which if 5TG spot that out. But I say this, Harv is found by the player of Crow Gremlin, which is I think quite a big refrag there.
It's a big frag, but they have given up top floor control. The defense have given up top floor control very, very quickly with 2 minutes on the round. So they've had 40 seconds here to make a lot of vertical destruction, and now they have 1 minute and 16 seconds to plan on how they're going to take this, how they're going to take the site. So it's kind of for the amount of investment that went there from the defense, it was kind of they fell off it very quickly. So we'll see if that plays into the hands of 5TG here.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for Clone Dowers as he's had bad timing every single time he's looked at that angle. Tulsa has walked past at the point where he can't be seen. So that is very unfortunate for him. 50 seconds
Now at
left,
this
still
point,
4v4.
yeah, at this point in time, 5DG really need to decide how they're going to take this site because seem to just have they took it top floor control very very quickly. It was very efficient clear of the top floor aside from that one man they lost. But now they seem to just have stalled out a bit. They've spent kind of 30 seconds here, not really gaining map control. I see they're now rotating down to the ground floor, so this could just be a pure rush from the laundry side. As here goes Sadler.
Yeah, we do see Kitty jump in to bike storage, and he is going to run straight at the castle, and he's going to find the kill after a couple whiffs, but Jack and Crow Gremlin find the other two. So it's now a 2v3. Kitty and Tulsa going to have to work together here. And we do see Jack find one onto Killy. It's all down to Tulsa here. But Jack is going to get found by Tulsa. Tulsa is now on 1 HP. It's a 1v1 between him and the Jaeger of Pub. Tulsa is going to 3 seconds to peak Pub here, but Pub is going to win the round for Dolus. What a round for Jack there as well, getting, I think, a double kill.
Yeah, I think 5TG were actually quite poor on that attack. They took, as I said, took top floor very quickly, then rotated down, but seems to leave it so late, wasted so much time, or not wasted, but they seem to stall out too much time, and then kind of had to rush in the last 20 seconds to gain that side control with very little intel, and I think had they just made that rotation slightly earlier, they would have had time to drawn it out, kind of see, right, this is going to be our plan and execute on that plan, whereas it was kind of just, let's throw bodies at the problem and see does it fix it. Now, it almost did, to be fair. Tulls almost went big, but Pubman shut him down pretty quick. So. Yeah, I don't know what your input on that with you is.
Yeah, I can't lie.
Me,
the start of the attack was very strong, like you said, from the attackers, but all in all, I think they stalled a little bit, and then they didn't really find an execute plan, and them jumping in, they lost the first gunfight, which meant that the second one was harder to win, and I think overall, Dolus did a very good job of holding their crosses and getting their refrags on the defenders. I can't lie, Pub did very well in that 1v1, because there was only 2 seconds left. He could have easily swung there and got killed, but he managed to find the frag. Tulsa was on 1 HP, so to be fair, that was very hard for him to win. He did a good job to get it into the scenario it was in, but overall, 5DG not showing up at the moment, so it would be interesting to see if this is a theme throughout this map. I think Dolus are very well rehearsed on Villa. It's one of their better maps in my opinion, from knowing them as a team, so can't lie. It'll be intriguing to see if they can keep taking some defensive rounds here and swing the momentum in their favour for sure.
I know I wouldn't be as familiar with either of the teams as you would be, but from what I've seen so far, Dolus just seem to be a little bit more settled, a little bit more composed. They're relaxed in how they're playing this.
Oh!
And they may need. Oh, I think he missed it.
Did he miss it?
I think he missed it. I believe so.
If he missed it, that's unfortunate. I thought Cloned wasn't actually going to. Yeah, he did miss it.
Yeah, he missed it.
That's painful for Achille. That is painful indeed. That could have been massive. Tyson and Pub duo roaming down. Sorry, I was coughing it. Tyson and Pub duo roaming down below here. Again, they've been quite present on the roam. And Ben and Crow Gremlin. Sorry, if I say Ben, by the way, it's Crow Gremlin, guys. Most of you know that, but I do apologize. However, this is so strong below. If the attackers could recognize this and get rid of the util, they could go for an aggressive push into Master quickly. It surprises me though, Shane, that not many people do study pushes anymore.
No, well, I suppose it's a glorified choke point, the whole room. With those 2 doors, there's 2 entries for the attackers and 2 angles to look out for the defenders. There's not much flexibility in how you can take it. There's not much vertical to play below. Obviously, the main stairs is pretty much a fortress in terms of vertical destruction. You just can't get guys off that angle. So I think it's one of those you just have to win your gunfights, and if that's something you're not maybe comfortable with as a strategy, you probably have the gun skill to do it, but you may not be comfortable with it working a high enough percentage of the time for it to be your go-to strategy. So I don't mind the take from Master Bed here. I don't think it's necessarily necessarily a sign of weakness.
That was a naughty K spot. I actually didn't know about that one personally, but maybe that's just
that's a good one.
Dumb. Crow Gremlin does indeed get downed here from the player and Master. I believe that could have been Killy. And Tulsa indeed does get the nade confirmation onto him. I don't know whether they know that Nathan, or Clone Daryl, sorry, is tight left of the statue door. Killy is going to find one onto Pub. The nade and the drone is going to spot out Clone Daryl. He does indeed get fragged by Killy as well. And now that's a double kill on the round for the Twitch. Jack does get one. onto H, but it's all over now because Taiso is in a 1v4 and unfortunately cannot find a single kill. And 5TG, after we were slating their attacking performance, they picked it up that round.
Well, slating's probably a strong word, but they seem to be settling into the game now because that was much more deliberate, much more focused. So I think we have a match on our hands. We obviously didn't want to see a sweep from either team. Villa is kind of a map you'd settle for on either side. 3-3 is generally considered to be a good score. So game seems to be going that way now. But this they're going to try trophy statue again. So if they hold it this successfully this time, it will set them up pretty well for the rest of the defensive half. And if 5TG can win this, then we will have a match on our hands.
But I mean, I can't lie. The Cade being 6th pick consistently is definitely a decent 6th pick in my opinion. Like it might start to get predictable, but not having that IQ, like to get rid of the Cades on this map specifically, is quite frustrating. Like IQ is a very strong pick on this map, especially if Valk is also available. But because Valk is banned, it's probably a 50-50 whether you pick her or you pick like Twitch. Like the operators that 5TG are picking, like yes, they're decent operators, but it seems more of a basic style lineup, like comfort picks in terms of the Twitch and Ash, because like there's operators like Thinker, there's operators like Sledge, Buck, that kind of stuff that can offer a bit more than like an Ash. But maybe it's just a comfort pick from half. I mean, I probably think it is because Ash has been out for so long and she's always been like a decent gun, okay util. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just a comfort pick.
Yeah, look, we're in a meta now where kind of projectiles are kind of the rule of the roost. We saw that at SI, and I assume everyone is quite familiar with. If you didn't watch the games, frag kills were the headline story for nearly all of the group stage and most of the playoffs. And we don't see too many of those on the side of 5TG at the minute, obviously in the hands of Justify with the Yana. But we saw a lot of play with the likes of the Finka, the Sledge, and that Yana kind of brought in combination in some cases. So maybe that might be something that we see come out later on. But for now, it seems to be working okay. There don't seem to be too much issues in terms of they're not lacking utility. But we'll see how they clear the smoke with that shield and the surrogate of Aruni on this Astro door. And we'll see can they get rid of this in good time. If so, then I don't think we can complain too much about the lineup. As Jack just drops, that's unfortunate. As I said that, there he goes with the frag from beneath. So maybe 2 is enough. But that's a nice shot there by Killy.
Nice shot by Killy there onto Crow Gremlin. Is he going to get the Jaeger as well? No, probably he's going to get the refrag, but he gets refragged himself, and it's all down to Taiso in a 1v4, which is not exactly an ideal situation, especially when you are below and with no nitro, no plan. I think he's probably going to just try and play for some kills here. He does get 1. Can he get the second? Because this could be winnable if he can get the 2, but no, Sadler will indeed win it out and look to the floor. I believe it will be a tactical pause here because someone has lagged out. But yeah, overall,
I would be
5TG pulling it back.
You can probably pause the timer here and we'll just have a look.
I don't know why.
What save is this?
No, there's no game audio.
It's low for me, but I can hear it.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, just really fix that Dolus. Yeah. The limited projectiles and utility they had, they used quite well there to clear the smoke off the Astro Shield, sorry. And then it was just very much a snowball. Killy winning the gunfights from the Master. Haven't used the 6 pick yet. We don't see Mira as of this moment in time, but if they bring it again, we may see a similar hold to before.
Yeah, I mean,
which obviously was quite successful.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't lie, this is probably the strongest performance from the side of Dolus onto this site. They did the extension, then they fell back, but it doesn't like the. Unless they stick pick it, doesn't look like they're going for the same option here. And
No,
indeed
and that is confirmed now at this point. So they may be trying something a bit different. Obviously, with the mirror windows being, if you deploy them in the prep phase, there's not much flexibility in the strategy. Once the mirror windows are down, they are down. Whereas with the kind of the intel denial of the Mozzie, as well as the kind of the stall of the Lucy Banshees and the smoke canisters, that will just allow the defense to kind of rotate and adapt to the push a little bit more, but we could probably see more of it. It's kind of, they've met in the middle ground here with the Cade, and with the Jaeger. Obviously the 1Y offers that flexibility a bit more, but I don't hate the pick. So we'll just see how they apply it in this round. That will kind of give us an insight as to how they're playing these defenses.
No, I 100% agree. Can we just, don't speak for a second? Okay, cool. Okay, it still has game sound, right, bet. I've sorted it now. What's it called? But I think we're going to see a bit more aggressive play from down below here, because I believe the pre-placed drones are definitely going to help them enter quite fast. We do see a vertical hold from, I think it's just the player of Taiso. Yeah, again, he likes to lurk below on this map quite a bit, it seems, as he's done it, I think, every single round now, I want to say. Oh.
Yeah, I think so. And he's been, oh, there's the key gun. Man, that was going to get got from below, you have to imagine, with the ash charges, as well as destruction. Pubman taking a little bit of help, but he narrowly avoids that nade.
Oh,
and
almost a kill there from Tulls. That's a very good nade indeed. Like, he could have got both Pub and Clone there with just a tiny bit more precision, but yeah, no, that's overall with decent damage, especially with no Thunderbird.
With the exception of Killy and Sutherland, and they're now rotating up to the balcony. I was just going to say they're still all below, but now they're rotating up to the balcony to kind of push this study side. So we may see the study push that we talked about not seeing in the last round. Taiso will need to start making a move shortly.
Yeah, he just found one pick, I believe, and no one is now searching him out. Oh, Makesh was trying to, but he is going to rotate back up. Smoker's going to get really aggressive there for, I believe, no reason needed at all there. And that is a whole, probably 2 smoke canisters off the board, as he had already used one. Clone Dowers is going to try and find the player onto Study Valk, being lit up from that nade that Tulls threw earlier in the round. This is going to be quite hard, though, because I don't think they don't have it. What a shot from Jack, though. If Tyson can rotate to 90 here, then they might be okay. But if he doesn't, then Clone Dowers is going to have no choice but to give up games completely.
Yeah, but no pressure on the 90 just yet. I believe they're starting to drone it now, and the aviator wall's still closed. That's a big pick, though. The aviator wall's still closed. They could probably play here very comfortably within the side, so they're going to have it all to do here, 5GG, with about a minute left on the round. Now, mind you, this time management is very efficient from 5GG, so they have plenty of time to drone as they are doing now and kind of decide their execute.
Yeah, what needs to happen here, though, is because Makesh missed the kill onto the Mozzie, he needs to make sure he doesn't die to the Vault player. As I say that, he dies to the Vault player. And Clone Dowers coming up big this round. And H is in a 1v3. It is winnable if he manages to find the first pick onto the Cade, and he does indeed see him. He does indeed find the pick. So as long as
time is on his side here.
It is indeed. With 25 seconds left, he is going to try and go for the plant. I believe Mozzie has no C4. Obviously, Malusi doesn't have a C4 anymore. He manages to get the plant off. If Jack can surprise him here, and indeed he can, and that is another round win for the side of Dolus. I think that was a very good clutch by the boys at Dolus. I don't think the smoke of Programming needed to get so aggressive, lost a life, especially with his teammate being so lit. But then again, I can't lie. Clone Dowers played very well that round.
He did indeed. He went huge on the Cade in the side hold. I want to be kind of critical of the defense, probably unnecessarily so. Taiso's deep roam there lasted till about a minute left on the clock, where he kind of rotated back up main. Then there's about a minute 15 left on the clock. That deep roam really, I may be mistaken. I don't believe he shot out any drones, kind of that shoot the drone fall off kind of style of roaming. I think he was just lurking, and he continued to lurk and didn't really find or apply any pressure to the clear downstairs. That was very efficient by 5GG, as we saw, when they're now opening up breach and looking for that side execute with a minute left on the round. So he probably could have got a bit more brave or headless, whichever you prefer, on the downstairs roam, and probably applied a bit more pressure to that roam, slow them down a little bit. But it was played very well by his teammates. So in the end, it didn't have any impact on the round. But if 5TG were a little tighter on their execute, winning more of the gunfights, then I believe Taiso could have contributed a bit more to the defense. But we're going to see Kitchen again. This seems to be their choice of secondary side. Obviously, we saw Trophy Stat Tree on the 3rd and 4th rounds of the defense. So Kitchen was their go-to secondary site, and Trophy appears to be their tertiary site. So,
no living just yet. I haven't seen a living site been played yet.
no, and now I can reveal, I can declassify the information that it was said in the match chat beforehand that we may see a living room defense. Wasn't guaranteed, but it was mentioned.
Yeah, on the
So
side
we
of
still
5
have
PG.
something to hope for. Or was it from the side of 5GG? Well, that's why we have to tune in.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. All 5 players have spawned on the east side of the map. I forget the spawn
I
names.
believe we saw this for the last kitchen take as well, so this could just be a top floor clear they'd be looking at here.
Yeah, you'd like to
The
think so,
Tulsa fight
but
looking.
they're doing a master
That's true,
bedroom
no.
like push onto a mirror facing master bedroom. I understand that it's not the hardest thing to clear, but you probably do a split push here if you wanted to make sure that this mirror was definitely not as effective as it could be. But all 5 players are stacking in the same spot. A well-played C4 here could definitely do some damage.
Yeah, it's quite possible that they didn't spot the mirror window above. That could be a possibility, you only spot it now, but that being said, they're not rotating away now, so I believe they wanted to play into this. But there's a big pick from Tyson. Again.
Yeah, he might be able to get a second here, especially if this Nomad walks straight into his shots, but unfortunately Tyson cannot hit them, and he is going to have to fall back. But he does escape with his life with no damage, and he gets a pick onto the Ash, so... Oh, Mukesh might be able to find a freebie onto the mirror there. Indeed he does. That's programming dying again unnecessarily. If those holes are there, you should be aware of them when you are falling down. I know Ben better than that. And that's
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of those on an extended hole like that.
No,
When you have to rotate down through jungle.
100%. Mukesh with a double kill on the round. He finds Taiso as well. So now it's going to be a 4v3. Pulse is getting hit up from below as he's making the holes. I'm surprised the C4 hasn't come out here from Jack to try and negate the sledge. Ooh, we are seeing a battle of the whiffs here from the castle and the Twitch, with the castle coming out with a bit of a HP advantage. He is getting yellow pinged by the drone, but no! Nathan's going to win out the fight onto Kitty with a beautiful shot there. And it's now going to be... Oh, he might be able to see the Nomad as well. I don't know where Pubman is. He's indeed off-site, but holding the Astro holes, so... It's just Cloned and Jack on site alone here. If the Nomad can find the pick onto the castle, that would be very damaging. But no! Cloned is going to find the pick and get instantly refragged by the Ace.
It's just too late.
Damaging as all hell. Castle, Cloned is playing very well right now. And it's just going to be a 2v2 for the Ace and the Sledge.
Ace just a moment too late to save his teammate there, and that could be the difference in this round, as they're kind of left in a tricky situation, one above and one in memo. They're not really helping each other at present. And Pubman just playing safe. There's the pick from Jack, but obviously no refrag potential from the Sledge above.
Oh,
I say that.
You say that, and he gets refragged.
We got that.
The timing of that. But yeah, I can't
That
lie.
would be an analyst question. Was that 5 seconds?
Yeah. He is going to have
There
to
we go.
go straight in front of the bulletproof though, and then know exactly where he's pushing
They'll
from.
have the intel from the drop.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to win this. And Pub does indeed win it out again. Pub and Tulse dueling again for a 1v1. Pub coming out yet again on top. That is going to be a 4-2 split for the side of Dolus on defense. Overall, solid performance from Dolus in my opinion.
Yeah, look, they won both their Aviator and both their Dining Kitchen defenses. So it was only Trophy Statuary that let them down. So that shows a decent level of preparation, that they were very confident going to these two sites. And obviously the Trophy Statuary, slightly more difficult site to hold with not many buffer rooms to the site. A buffer room, obviously for those who are unfamiliar, is just one of those rooms that is almost critical. The control of it is almost critical to be able to execute onto the site. Trophy Statuary doesn't have that many of those rooms. It has Master, it has Astro, and that's kind of it. Wolf is too difficult to hold as a defensive team due to its placement on the long hallway. If you look at a site like Dining and Kitchen, it has several buffer rooms, memo, pantry, china even to a degree, laundry, and then obviously all of the upstairs as well. So that was just enough to kind of slow them down. Because 5TG, from what we've seen so far, were pretty efficient on their attacks, and it was just then stalling out into the latter stages of the round. So maybe Trophy Statuary was the reason, or maybe it was the reason that they were so successful on Trophy Statuary, was they had much less to clear and therefore had so much time to deal with the side holds that they just found themselves to be successful.
Can't lie. I was listening to everything you just said, but I just watched.
Nothing went in.
I just watched Cloned Arrows, yellow ping, like a Mozzie Fest, and then drive his drone into it. As Ace.
Now, is that a sacrifice? Is that a sacrifice to preserve the Twitch drone later on? Quite possibly.
I don't know. Not
This
not
is
for
an
downstairs.
interesting This is an interesting reinforcement setup in the Aviator games to have this double reinforcement.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen this, but I have. So essentially, I see it a lot on PC as well. Having these long angle holes, so you can get long angles onto the study door. It's a lot harder to push study with these angles, especially if you are confident in your team's gun skill. It's very, very difficult. We are going to see. Oh, that is a huge, huge entry frag there if they can find it. But no, the Finker boost is going to indeed save the Sledge's life there. But that is why Finker so important these days. I say that she's going to get found. H is also going to get found. But
there's nothing 100 round LMG can do to help you win the gunfight.
Yeah.
Just help you win multiple of them. But you do have to win the first one.
We are going to see Crow find the pick onto Hard as well. So that's the Thunderbird and the Jaeger down for only the Finker. Honestly, I'd say that's a good trade for the attackers. They have lost the Gong 6 and 2 nades and the healing, but they found 2 players, and realistically, that is what matters the most.
The 2 picks is nice. There's no active denial taken off the side of Dolus. Or off 5TG, sorry.
A bomb has been
Oh,
located.
bang. Oh, I got excited.
Just not quick enough.
Yeah, agreed. That was a good rappel down there from the Sledge of Jack, especially considering he's so low. That would have been a good night to him.
Yeah, we'll see as they try to clear this field. This seems to be a theme with both teams. There's a lot of time left on the clock. These extended holds aren't being so successful in the way of denying time. Now, obviously, there's 3 picks on the board already. So they're quite explosive, action-packed, but in terms of time, there seems to be an abundance of it. As they now have a minute to execute onto the site, which is a lot of time. If they make good use of it.
Can't lie, Killy's in a really big power position here, especially with that shield. As long as he does not die, they cannot push into AVA. As long as he doesn't die from Vault, which I believe Makesh is holding, yeah, they've got some power positions here. With this night cam at 90 as well, that's going to be so huge. I think Tulsa's going to be able to get a freebie here. No, indeed he's not. And Killy does die in that power position, like I said. Now they definitely have AVA control. But they indeed are not going to push in yet. They're going to drone it out, make sure that it is indeed clear. Jack is now pushing onto study as well. So the defenders here are going to get pinched, and as I say that, Tulsa's in a 1v4, and that's a great execute from the side of Dolus. Really solid picks.
Just as it occurs to me, I think it was a big misplay from the Mozzie there to chase down that kill on the 90. Because of the Goyo holding the Vault Breach, there was really no need to swing it like that. And what, I believe it was Killy on the Mozzie, or it could have been Tulsa, not sure. But what the Mozzie was doing in that position in Vault or in top main was denying the running in to study from either the window or from the balcony and taking, it was Killy on the power position, sorry. Yeah, so it must have been Tulsify. Tulsify, when he rotates out of study like that, he allows the attackers to come into study very quickly and take Killy off that power position on the map shield. So I think it was a bit of a misplay there to chase down that kill on 90 because it allowed, obviously, Killy to fall. And that kind of unraveled the defense from there because I think they put a lot of stock with where they were positioned, a lot of stock into keeping Killy alive with those smoke canisters. And were just unsuccessful in doing so as he was shot in the back, I believe.
Give me 2 seconds.
No problem.
I am back now, sorry about that. What I've noticed is Dolus seem to be a little bit more disciplined and a little bit more together almost, and you'd expect that from a team that plays together regularly. But you're going to see 5TG try and repeat the same site here with a little bit of a different strategy. Now, we've seen a bit of a change up in the ops as well. Sadler and Killy have completely switched. And Makesh has hopped off the Goyo onto the mirror. So overall, I think this might probably help them a little bit more. Having no wall in Aviator reinforced, however, I understand they have the mirror, but if they are trying to set that up late, considering where the players have spawned on the side of Dolus, that could...
they still have 2 reinforcements in the bag, so as long as Dolus aren't quick to the long angle or quick to the balcony, I think they should be okay here.
They were a little bit more aggressive there. They could have been able to get a freebie.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those, as an attacker, you can't really fault them because you assume it's going to be reinforced. There's no point looking for it.
That's very true. That all comes down to 3 drones, I think. We're going to see, I think, 3 people enter from below. Maybe even the whole team bar cloned. I think that's probably a good play to make sure that they don't get killed by the lurker, which is probably, I think, just hard, right? Yeah. Oh, no, Tulsa Fire is also in library.
I imagine. Oh, I think it's a mistake to shoot the drone there in a reveal your position.
it revealed his
Obviously,
position,
it
and he
does
didn't
burn
get the
time as
drone.
they're now going to go and they're going to now go on drone library, so it does burn a bit of time. So not the worst in the world, but I think the initial drone had missed him, but he's going to be droned out by this second drone. So and he gets wallbind. That's a nice shot.
That's a very nice shot from Tyson indeed. Halves also going to be lit up to about 30-40 HP. Or 30.
Good communication there by the side of Dolus.
Yeah, very indeed. And the fact that Tyson managed to jump in without any sound was pretty decent as well. I don't think Toss must have heard him. And there you go. That's a really good frag. Sorry, on the C4 as well. Halves going to go back up and get healed. But yeah, I can't lie. This is going to be interesting to see how Clone Dolus deals with this, because he's just going to be sat on the rappel the whole time. If he peeks this, Makesh should be able to kill him. Oh.
And I'd just like to comment on the micro positioning of the mirror standing back off the mirror window, because he would have got caught by that frag grenade. So we're playing with intelligent players. This is a game with intelligent players. As sitting right back off that mirror window. But
Jack does find Sadler after the nade kill onto Kitty as well. Harv is going to get one onto Jack, but Clone is going to get the mirror. Now it is a 1v4. Can Harv get the ace here to clutch it up? It's going to be very difficult for him, especially considering he does get the ace. Can he get onto the thinker? No, he can't. Tyso will get a double kill in a round. And it's 6-2 to Dolus. Honestly, not what I expected going into this game. I expected it to be a lot closer. Didn't expect it to be this kind of difference.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think the amount of time being left on the clock in the 2v5, 2v5 is up, or 2v4, 2v5 is obviously not a bad spot to be in as a defense with 10 seconds left on the clock. However, with a minute and a half, it's almost an impossible task to pull it back from there. So I think 5TG are finding themselves just slightly erratic, slightly on edge. I don't think they're as comfortable and as disciplined as Dolus have been, which is why they're losing the majority of the gunfights. As a pretty good showing, pretty good even showing from the side of Dolus. And to be fair, similar on 5TG, there's no one who is standing out and pulling them through the rounds. But that being said, the 2 rounds they won were very much 2 team rounds, and they have struggled in every other round. So, very strong performance from Dolus so far. Let's see if they can close it out. Now it should be noted that overtime wins and losses do score you less points for win and more points for a loss. So in this tournament, the way the format works is for an outright win, so if you win 7-2, 7-3, 7-4, 7-5, 7-1, 7-0, in your best of 1 match, you will get 3 points. If you win in overtime, you will get 2. If you lose in overtime, you get 1, and if it's an outright loss, you get no points. So, still, even though it seems like an impossible task to pull the win back at this point, sorry, it actually is impossible for them to pull the outright win back, for 5GG to catch Dolus, it is very much worth the battle for that extra point you get from the overtime loss. But it's going to be a tall task, as they will have to pull back a minimum of 5 rounds, if not more.
No,
as we see a
I
study
completely
take
agree. We do see a study take here. All 5 players, I believe, are on this side of the map. I just saw a drone go in front of the camera somehow. That was indeed very, very weird. Never mind, Crow Gremlin is over on the other side. But overall, study take. Not much of the presence of 5TG contesting this. Considering it is match point, I believe they're probably trying to play a bit different, try and change something up, because they could lose this. And as I say that, Crow gets an absolute freebie onto the Mozzie. Yet again.
Is that onto the Astro stairs or the man beneath? Oh, the man beneath.
I think it was the man beneath, yeah. And again, Tossfire getting first pick. Not what you would want in this situation, as the Mozzie C4 off the board. Also, Harv's now going to be left below on his own. And I can't lie, Dolus have already taken a lot of control considering it's not being contested. Thinker is now going to be contesting
2 minutes left
onto Statue Door. We could see an engagement here onto Killy. Who's going to win this one out? Right, Jaeger is going to be able to flank and get picked, and Tinker's going to be able to get a res. Now that is
power of Finger.
That's very key. That could win them the game there. 100% that could win them the game here. 5v3 and a Finker still on the board, meaning that HP does not matter that much.
Now the only saving grace here on the side of 5TG is the fact that Dolus seem to be lining up through 2 choke points in Wolf and the Statue Door. However, I think 1 man is now rotating around to either the Astro Stairs or Master Bed Bulk. But if they line up in this choke, yeah, they're now rotating around to Master Bed, so this is going to be a really tricky win at this point with a minute left on the clock. They have all the map control. It's just got a lot harder.
It's got a lot harder now. It's going to be a 2v5. We might see 5TG fall after them being pretty decent favourites, odds on. But Makesh gets one. Can he get a second? Oh, he almost finds the thinker. That could have been a very big pick. Sadler is going to be in a difficult situation now, especially with Pubman finding Makesh. So H is going to run it off, and he is going to get picked, and that is indeed it. Game is done. 7-2 to Dolus. Now that is definitely something I did not see coming, and that is a very good performance from Dolus on Villa. They will take the first map of the day.
Yeah, it was impressive showing from Dolus. I know we touched on multiple occasions, more than 2 or 3, I think. They just were disciplined, and they were winning gunfights when they were taking them. Obviously, taking less gunfights, taking less of those unnecessary gunfights is going to benefit you quite a lot longer in the long run. But those